Good morning, everyone. Happy to see all of you this morning. This is a special day we call the Dizang Blessing Ceremony, and on this day we remember all of those who have passed away, all of those who are separated from us, and we want to recognize that within ourselves as well, this is inevitable that we will be separated from our loved ones, that we will depart at some point. So we prepare ourselves both in terms of being loving and kind towards all of people who have lost dear loved ones during this time. So the guided meditation that I'm going to lead us in today is on the instructions on dying from Majjhima Nikaya 143, the Anathapindika Sutta. For the Chinese, if you want to follow this in the Chinese, this is also found in Ekotaragama 51.8. the Zhangyan Jing. So I'm going to do an abridged version of this for our meditation today. And for those of you who are not interested in following along, you can just turn your volume off. And we'll return at 10 o'clock. We can just sit in silence. For those of you who would like to go through the guided meditation, you're certainly welcome to join us in this way. There's nothing particularly morose or negative about this meditation. It's all about letting go of the different sensibilities that we have in preparation for our own separation from this body. So this is actually, I'll talk a little bit more about it at the very end, but this is Venerable Sariputta, who is speaking to the householder Anathapindika. Placing our body in the meditation position with the back straight, relaxed, able to focus. We send our awareness to the breath. Practicing with the mind ardent, alert, mindful, putting aside our wants and worries about the daily life. Always mindful, I breathe in. Mindful, I breathe out. Breathing in long, I breathe in long. Or breathing out long, I breathe out long. Or breathing in short, I breathe in short. Or breathing out short, I breathe out short. Breathing in, sensitive to the entire body. Breathing out, sensitive to the entire body. Breathing in, calming the bodily formation, the breath. Breathing out, calming the bodily formation, the breath. Observing accepting, letting go. Venerable Sariputta spoke thus. Then, householder, you should train yourself in this way. I will not cling to the sense faculties, not to the eyes, not to the ear, not to the nose, not to the tongue, not to the body, or not to the intellect. My consciousness will not be dependent on the sense faculties, not to the eye, not to the ear, not to the nose, not to the tongue, not to the body, not to the intellect. Letting go of sense faculties. This is how you should train yourself. Then, householder, you should train yourself in this way. I will not cling to sense data, not to forms, not to sounds, not to smells, not to tastes, not to tactile sensations, not to ideas. My consciousness will not be dependent on sense data, not to forms, not to sounds, not to smells, not to tastes, not to tactile sensations, not to ideas. Letting go of sense data. This is how you should train yourself. Then, householder, you should train yourself in this way. I will not cling to the sense consciousnesses. Parenthetically, in modern science, the neural networks that connect the sense organs to the centers of the brain. For example, the visual cortex, the olfactory bulb. I will not cling to the eye consciousness, not to the ear consciousness, not to the nose consciousness, not to the tongue consciousness, not to the body consciousness, not to the intellect consciousness. My consciousness will not be dependent on eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, or intellect consciousness. Letting go of sense consciousnesses. That is how you should train yourself. Then, householder, you should train yourself in this way. I will not cling to contact at the sense doors, at the eye, at the ear, at the nose, at the tongue, at the body, or at the intellect. My consciousness will not be dependent on contact at the eye, at the ear, at the nose, at the tongue, at the body, or at the intellect. Letting go of contact. This is how you should train yourself. Then, householder, you should train yourself in this way. I will not cling to feeling born of contact at the eye, at the ear, at the nose, at the tongue, at the body, nor at the intellect. My consciousness will not be dependent on feeling born of contact at the eye, at the ear, at the nose, at the tongue, the body, or at the intellect. Letting go of feeling. That is how you should train yourself. Then, householder, you should train yourself in this way. I will not cling to the elements, to the earth property, the solid material of the body, to the liquid water property, the fluids of the body, to the fire property, the heat of the body, to the wind property, the breath in the body, to the space property, the emptiness within the matter, to the consciousness property, the thoughts and images in the mind. My consciousness will not be dependent upon the earth property, the water property, the fire property, on the wind property, on the space property, and on the consciousness property itself. Letting go of the elements, that is how you should train yourself. Then, householder, you should train yourself in this way. I will not cling to the five aggregates, the skandhas, to form, feeling, perception, conception, mental formations, and consciousness itself. My consciousness will not be dependent on form, feeling, perception, conception, mental formation, or consciousness itself. Letting go of the aggregates, the five skandhas. That is how you should train yourself. Then, householder, you should train yourself in this way. I will not cling to the dimensions in the formless realm, to the infinitude of space, to the infinitude of consciousness, to the dimension of nothingness, to the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception. My consciousness will not be dependent on the infinitude of space, on the infinitude of consciousness, on the dimension of nothingness, or on the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception. Letting go of the formless dimensions. This is how you should train yourself. Then, householder, you should train yourself in this way. I will not cling to this world. My consciousness will not be dependent on this world. I will not cling to the world beyond. My consciousness will not be dependent on the world beyond. Letting go of this world and the world beyond. That is how you should train yourself. Then, householder, you should train yourself in this way. I will not cling to what is seen, heard, sensed, cognized, attained, sought after, pondered by the intellect. My consciousness will not be dependent on that. Letting go of this very life. That is how you should train yourself. Right action, clear knowing, and wholesome mental qualities, and the highest way of life, of following the path. Through this are sentient beings purified, not through family name, not through power, wealth, and fame. Thus the wise, seeing their own benefit, and seeing the benefit for all others, by investigating the Dhamma appropriately, they should purify themselves right in this here and now. May all beings train themselves in this way.